right, Shalom.
First
off, I want to say all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders. All right, we out here once again. We out here once again on 42nd and Broadway. And we're in some heavy time period right now. You got the Eclipse. That's gonna happen in a few days. Right. And
it's happening on the new moon, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
So that's, get Genesis.
You might as well get into it. I got some info on it.
Get it.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of major things going on right now in the news all over the world, like the brother's going through. You got the race riots going on right now in Charlottesville, Virginia, which is a total setup, all right, to bring in this new world order that you people are totally asleep to. Okay, you got false flag events or staged events happening in this country and all over the world. Okay, even the stuff that's happening in Barcelona, Spain, that's all staged, man. Now all of a sudden everybody has a knack to run over people with a van. No, that's all staged. Why? To bring in the New World Order, to have a complete shutdown in America and eventually all over the world.
Yeah, order at chaos.
Yeah.
Scare the people, and the people run to the government for a solution, and they bring the solution to the problem.
And that's exactly what's happening, like the elders just said.
But that happened out here in Times Square not too long ago.
Yes,
and then
you're right.
Now it's happening in Barcelona. Then it happened in Charlottesville. Then where else? You know what I'm saying? And don't forget about crisis actors too.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of that shit, nobody dies in some of them cases. But whether they die or not, it's all still orchestrated.
These events are all here to take away your rights, man. That's all it is, all right? We'll get right into the scriptures here about, basically we're talking about the eclipse that's happening on the 21st. There's some heavy info I found on the eclipse, all right? I'll say that the first one is, it's on August 21st, which is, like we were just talking, like the new moon, the first Sabbath, all right? Okay, so that's heavy in itself. Then you got memorial of blowing the trumpets, right? Which is happening on I believe on Sabbath too, the same day, which is the highest moon, I believe, in the year, with our custom. Then you got the Day of Atonement a week after, all right, which is one of the highest holy days in Israel, man. So it's not a coincidence that the eclipse is happening right around these times, and it's happening right around when all this turmoil and mayhem is happening in this country and all over the world, with race riots and so-called terrorist attacks overseas in North Korea, South Korea, and Russia. All right, got something about it.
Yeah. This is Genesis 1 verse 14. It says, and the power said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven."
So we're going to the obviously the Genesis, the book of Genesis, to tell you why and how what these eclipses are set up for. Okay, which the Most High is about to go through, set it up for seasons and for signs.
Right, it says, and the power said, "Let there be lights."
Which the powers are the Most High, Yahweh Shai, who you dummies ignorantly call Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai in Hebrew, the Lashon Kadash. And then his angels, the 144,000, the chosen men, all right, the men that created the earth and the whole universe. Those are the powers.
It says, "Let there be," and the power said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years."
Yeah, let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Okay, so the signs, which are the signs of the times. Okay, an eclipse is basically like an omen to something happening very soon. All right. Now you have that all throughout the scriptures, man. You have that all throughout the scriptures where the Most High used eclipses or the sun and the moon to talk to his people or to show you what's going to happen. All right.
Also, the tribe of Issachar, I believe it's in Chronicles. That was their specialty. They would look at the heavens and see, were able to tell if anything was about to happen, So it's no different today. The eclipse coming on a day, a holy day in the scriptures for the Israelites as well, it's also going to bring in or determine what's going to happen here in America.
That's right. Yeah, because part of the signs and the seasons is obviously bringing in, looking at the agriculture. You can look at the constellation of the stars and the sun and the moon to see how your upcoming farm season's going to be, so to speak. All right. And like the brother just mentioned, the Mayans, they have something called a Mayan calendar, which they predicted not the end of the world, but a transition of power, and it's around this time. Yeah, it's Mayan, yeah. All right, so
that's Aztecs.
All right, Aztecs, yeah. You can also get Matthews. I think it's the 24th chapter. It talks about when the Lord was crucified, and just any eclipse script. But get the one in I think it's in Matthews. Actually, around my place. Hey, what's that script you found in Matthews? Matthew 23.
I got it. First Chronicles about the Issachar thing. You got real quick?
Yeah, you get that, yeah.
All right, First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 12 and 32.
I'll just read this script real quick, just to go into it. I should read that one.
Right. This is 1 Chronicles 12 and 32. And the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do, the heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at the commandment. So the point was, in the beginning, I'll read that at the point again. It says, and the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of times, and what brings in times, seasons, and signs. It was the lights, the lights in the firmament, right? The stars, the sun, the moon. They were all a sign of times. And Issachar's specialty was what? The signs of times. To know what Israel ought to do, to know what the king ought to do.
Yeah, because when the sun is directly above you, what it gives you the time of the day. It's midday. All right. When when the new moon comes out, it's the first month of the year. Excuse me, the first month, or it's not the first month, another month. It breaks in a month. Okay, and your months obviously there's weeks and days in a month. So when you have a Sabbath, each Sabbath is that you do every week is 7 days. It's a week. All right, and those 4 or 5 Sabbaths that you do make that month. All right, and eventually 12 new moons, so to speak, bringing that whole year. All right. But anyway, to get to the point, we got more scriptures on eclipses too. But again, we're showing you, explaining to you what the Most High used the sun and the moon for in eclipses. That's going to happen this Monday. Now, not only is it happening on the Sabbath, on blowing the trumpets, and the Day of Atonement coming up, the date is August 21st. The date is on August 21st, all right? Now, on August 21st, in 1914, is when World War I happened. That's when y'all know those countries in World War I, like Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, I don't know the others, but all the countries that was in that World War I, they all, within those months, especially in August, the summer of 1914, they all declared war on each other. And right when that happened, an eclipse happened on August 21st, which really started off, which was a telltale sign to come of World War I, all right? It's not a coincidence that the same date is happening now in a time where there's war and conflict all over the world now. We already had a World War II, so that August 21st and that eclipse is a sign of World War III to come. And that's not a lie. You got you got this, man, North Korea and America, man, they're about to start, man. Something's about to go down. You got other videos online on YouTube and whatever have you on the internet talking about a what-if scenario for missile war here in America. A lot of what-if videos. So people are preparing for something to happen.
It's becoming a reality now.
Yeah,
it's not no longer, that's not gonna happen. No, this is now reality in your face. Like this could actually really happen, and it's gonna happen, man.
That's right. They're going like CNN. They actually, you know, the puff news, whatever you call it, that fake news. On the fake news stations like CNN, Fox, MSNBC, they're talking about a what-if scenario of North Korea were to shoot missiles over here. And here it is, we have an eclipse coming out, all right, which 100 years ago brought in the First World War. So it's going to bring in the Third World War. So that's something heavy.
This is Ecclesiasticus 43 verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. You know? So what? The eclipse, that's what it's for. It's not the eclipse. Whenever eclipse happens, just like he's going into, something always drastic happens. And in this situation, it was World War I, you said?
Yeah, World War I. Yeah.
World War I, there was eclipse on the same date, you said?
Yeah, same thing, same exact thing.
On the same
August 21st.
August 21st. Now, this is, hey, matter of fact, let me get
go ahead, man. 1914. Yeah. That's heavy. I just looked that up today. I was like, oh shit. You know, so this is well, I'll give you some more facts while brothers look for scripts. Now when an eclipse happens, the moon blocks out the sun basically. So you have basically, you already know, no sunlight. Okay. So, but when that moon blocks the sun, it creates a shadow. You have a shadow. Now that shadow, right? I'll use the 1914 eclipse for example, which was on the same date. That shadow went all over across Europe, and it hit the countries that went to war. I'll read them. In 1914, that shadow from the moon from that eclipse on the same date was we hit Sweden, Ukraine, Turkey, Italy, Iran, Pakistan. Okay, in that region of Europe, in the Middle East, really over Europe, and that's where that First World War happened, over there in Europe. Now here it is, the shadow that this moon is going to create with this eclipse on Monday. This shadow is going to be across America. All right, which means what? America is going to be destroyed. Something's coming to America. All right, you think it's a light issue? Here it is state, and here's more undenying facts about that shadow, what's going to hit. Now, what's going to hit? I don't know the states, because I didn't write it down. I don't remember. I know the cities. It's going to hit Salem, right above California. I believe that's Oregon. All right, Salem. Then you got Boise, which is Idaho. You said? Omaha. How about Boise? I forget where that is.
I think Boise, Colorado.
Might be Colorado. I think it's Colorado. I'm not sure. All right, but whatever. You guys will make jokes, fuck you anyway. But Salem, Boise, you got Casper, Omaha, that's Idaho, right? Nebraska, Kansas City, okay, St. Louis, Nashville, and when you look all these states, these cities up, it directs a direct line from one part of the country to the other, one side to the other side on an angle. Now, something about that path, the path it hits, okay? That path it hit, it goes right over Yellowstone State National Park. Where in that park, you have a super volcano, all right? A super volcano there. It hasn't been erupted. It's not a volcano, notice the name, a super volcano. In America, all right? On that path where that shadow, where the shadow of the moon casts its path at. You also have, also in that path, that shadow path that the moon creates, you have a lot of it phrases as how do you say past earthquakes in that path that haven't been erupted yet. That's a highly active earthquake path that shadow is covering right there. So you got earthquakes and volcanoes in America that's bound to erupt. And here it is, the moon, the eclipse is creating a shadow that's hitting that direct path. And the scriptures talk about it, Matthew the 24th chapter. Anybody got anything?
I got something real quick. I want to give a scriptural example of how the Most High has used the celestial bodies, the heavenly bodies, in times of war. This is Joshua chapter 10, verse 12. Then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. It's not just written in the book of Yasha, which the book of Yasha is out right now, the real book of Yasha, but we gonna find it out in the kingdom, all right? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. And there was no day like that before it or after it. That the Lord hearkened unto the voice of a man for the Lord for Israel. So the Most High made the sun stand still for a whole day, for a whole 24-hour period. So the Most High has used the heavenly bodies for specific purposes, apart from just giving us life. Check that out, man.
That's heavy. I forgot about that one.
You know?
That's heavy, man. So yeah, like we're bringing out, you know, we're gonna have many scripts on the eclipses, but like the Most High uses the eclipses or the sun and moon for signs, but also to prepare you for something to happen, man. So that eclipse that's happening on Monday, man, you people better get prepared. All right? It's just a sign of things to come to America, and it ain't nothing nice, man. Okay? Another fact about this shadow that the moon is casting on that path over America. Oh, I'm sorry, that path has a name, all right? I forgot to say that. That path is called the path of totality, all right? The path of totality is the shadow that the moon creates from the eclipse, all right? Now the path of totality, it's obviously I read off the states, that's where it's going to end in America, but it also hits the, check this out, the Georgia Guidestone, okay? Now if you know anything about the Georgia Guidestone, the elites idolize that. It's an idol tool, basically, right? And what that Georgia Guidestone is, they use it as a compass, as a clock and a calendar. All right, but also there's commandments on the Georgia Guidestone, and on that Georgia Guidestone, well, like we always bring out, is the commandment on there to bring the population, the world population, down to 500 million. All right, which the elites they plan to do. They plan to bring the whole population down, which is what, 8 billion right now estimated, down to 500 million. All right, so there's a lot of death and mayhem right around the corner. Okay.
Right. This is one thing also is going to bring is war, right? And a world war, just like it did prior to World War I in 1914, on the same date, right? So this is Revelation 9 verse 12. It says, "One woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes hereafter." And the second woe was what? From 1939 around there to about 1944, 45 around. All right? That was the second war, or the Second World War. The Third World War is right around the corner. And that's what all these other nations are prepared for. They're prepared for what? That Third World War. It's all orchestrated by who you really call Jesus Christ. All right? The Lord wants to bring in this Third World War to bring down this society, which we're vastly approaching. You know? And how do we know? We know it by, that's why it tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, to measure thou the time diligently. You see, the watchers, who are the prophets of the Heavenly Father, we're watching for these signs. All right? And we can see by the signs that's taking place that this place is about ready to go down. And World War III is right at the door. All right?
Let me correct myself. I didn't say this the right way. That path of totality that's going to cross over America, I have it here. It says those earthquakes that's in that path. It says decades past due for earthquake. So that shadow that's cast upon America, that path of totality, that whole path is way past overdue with earthquakes about to erupt, man. So like we're going to do a lot of destruction and chaos is going to be happening in America very soon, as far as a catastrophic event. Okay? Yeah.
But like the brothers is going into, man, the catastrophic event is pretty much going to be
the Third World War, man.
Yep.
It's gonna be these nations coming together, all right, for that Battle of Armageddon. Ezekiel chapter 30, verse 2. I'm gonna read on down. It says, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord power, how ye woe worth the day, for the day is near, even the day of the Lord is near. A cloudy day, it shall be the time of the heathen. And the sword shall come upon Egypt, and great pain shall be in Ethiopia. When the slain shall fall in Egypt, and they shall take away her multitude, and her foundation shall be broken down. Ethiopia and Libya and Lydia and all the mingled people and Chub and the men of the land that is in league shall fall with them by the sword. Okay? Because the Most High is going to gather these nations together, man. He's gathering these other nations together as we speak, man. All right? So the different so-called African nations, all right, part of Libya, all right, and all these other nations that surround the world, they're gathering together and they forming alliances, man. All right? They're forming alliances for what? To come against America. All right? Because America's been going throughout them lands and trying to dictate and police them all this time, man. And now they're finally building up their armies and their arsenals to actually come and fight against, all right, the power of the so-called white man in America, man.
This is Revelation 6 and 12. And I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. Now that great earthquake is talking about what? It's talking about the thermonuclear missiles. Because when the nuclear missiles hit, it's gonna make the earth shake. It's gonna be like an earthquake. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair. Like a garment made out of hair from an animal, but a garment of sackcloth, which is black. So the sun became as black as sackcloth of hair. Why? Because of the smoke. All of that smoke that's gonna be in the sky. You're not gonna be able to see the light from the sun. And the moon became as blood. Why? Because a lot of blood was being shed. That's just giving you another example. Now that's not talking about the actual moon gonna eclipse the sun. It's just an example how the Most High references different celestial bodies when it comes to judgment. So for the Most High to bring forth that eclipse, and the time when He's gonna bring them forth, it's for a purpose. Okay? The Most High is doing that for a purpose. But y'all just think that it's a show. Like it's just something to look at. Oh, look!
That's right. I forget the person's name, like we talked about before. It's an act, like you said, it's a show. You got people out there. I forget what state. Some woman out there is hosting like an Eclipse show, and she has big property. So she's charging people like $1,500 to bring their family, have a picnic.